Alright, let's continue then with this session. I'll go ahead and define a bit more the legs, in order to make them look more like the reference. Step by step, so I'll first mark this shape. Let's copy the lines from the image at the back. I simply follow the shape of the muscles. In this case, it works really well since we have an explicit reference. Otherwise, we would have to go through the process about anatomy that Oscar showed to us on the previous course. We'll apply it here anyways, but for this general shape, where we have the references, meaning we have to copy the character at the background, so the process is quite clear about what we have to achieve. Afterwards, we'll be adding all the muscles that Oscar explained to us throughout the process on the anatomy course. For the time being, we simply add the basic shapes. I think we could now shape easier the gluteus. Well, I'll fix this now, since it starts to get kind of annoying. Map 2. No, excuse me. That would be in front back. Map 2. I need horizontal offset. Where is it? Horizontal offset. Over there should work better. I could make use of... hold on a second. Let's shape this a bit more. Around this area. A bit around the abductor. Over here is really important not to lose sight of the reference to avoid adding too much volume. In fact, this portion here is flatter. Try to be careful. I try to be more careful this time, in order to shape the mesh according to the reference. Each time closer. Step by step, but we are heading towards that goal. I'll adjust this portion here. Okay. As I make progress, I adjust the blueprints in order to make everything match, due to at this point I'm starting to add more detail. I'll need everything to match. At the beginning, we were creating just a rough approach, very sketchy. It was not that easy to adjust the blueprints, but at this point we start noticing the need to have them match, because there are some shapes that will depend entirely of those blueprints. So, I really would like them to match very well. At this stage we can start to fix that. In order to make this match over here, for instance, this Batman is a bit bigger than the lateral one. You see, the lateral one matches perfectly, and the frontal is a bit bigger. The difference is not that obvious, because the reference has been quite general, but at this instant we start noticing differences that affect the job. This matter about front-back and the process working with these images are very important to keep in mind, since they are really useful. I'll adjust it a bit, like so, but it's getting too small. I think over there should work, and I'll take it upwards using vertical offset. Yeah, it does work way better now. Perfect. It works pretty good from here. From the rear, we can also take it upwards a bit. Okay. Well, I feel better like that now. Notice now how the mesh is taking shape. We have to be careful. I got this area too flat now. The mesh is looking too flat. Using standard, I'll fix this portion of the calf, holding out. Some of volume over here. I mark some simple shapes which get closer to the reference. On this area, the calf is looking too thin. I get different information from every view. Okay. So we are now getting an interesting looking mesh. Remove this floor for a while by hitting this button, right? Let's zoom in over the foot in order to polish it a bit, because it is kind of deformed. And finally, there are a couple of tools we could use in this case, like polish, for instance, or also trim dynamic. It's also very good. Flatten this area for shaping what turns out to be the shoe, its shape. I think at this point, let's see. I'd like to adjust a bit the calf. Couple of things I didn't notice. Maybe we should add some volume over here. It is too flat in the front. We've got a muscle over here. We should start defining it. Well, we should also keep in mind the character is wearing boots, so we gotta have a well-made base mesh in order to make the boots match properly. Otherwise, it'll become difficult to add the boots due to a bad mesh. Alright? Just a bit more. In fact, this shape should look like a shoe instead of a foot. It's looking better. Also over here, we should recognize what portions need more volume. The anatomy guidelines suggest some muscle shapes we should be aware of, like the gluteus, the ones over here. I think it's a good step for making progress on the development of Batman, our character, the fan art. Let's take a break now, and on the next class, we shape a bit better the hands, for us to be able to add another level of detail and start adding some other details of the character.